Hey girls, Tiffany Dawn here, and don't forget baby Minnie is born! And so you should totally follow my Instagram at Tiffany Dawn IQB for like real-time updates with me and baby Minnie. But today we are gonna talk about why guys flirt. And this has been a much requested topic. So I actually asked 3 awesome guys who just like respect women and are just awesome people. And I've asked them to answer the question, why do guys flirt? And what does it mean? And so this is coming from their own perspectives because I'm sure the answer is different for every guy, but I'm hoping that they can shed some insight for you. Let's get started.
All right, when asked what is flirting and why we do it, flirting is a way to engage with the opposite sex in a safer way where we're not getting rejected or shut down. I think it's like a way to test the waters to see if somebody's into you or not.
If I had to define flirting, it would be doing something verbally or physically to try to get a girl's attention.
What it looks like when a guy flirts, I would say that can vary a little bit. If it seems like the person's trying to make you feel like you're the only person in the room, then maybe they're flirting with you. Okay, the other thing is some guys will try and use like reverse psychology and try and make a girl feel like they're not interested, and that's a form of flirting because it's still a intentional behavior that they're trying to get something from you or from somebody else, but it's just a different tactic that they use to get what they want.
So, if we're wondering, why do guys flirt? On some level, you get a rush from it. You get, oh, I got someone to pay attention to me. They're talking to me. You know, maybe you can get them to laugh or to smile. You feel like you've accomplished something. You might not even be thinking, oh wow, I want to take this girl on a date. You just might be thinking, I just want this girl's attention. And if you're getting it, it makes you really excited.
Another reason why we as people flirt, it feels good. It feels good to be desired, and it feels good to be wanted. And we kind of get a sense of that when flirting.
I'm going to say it's for one of 3 reasons. First, and most likely, it's because they want something from the girl, whether it's her time or her attention or something else. The second thing I would think of is that they're just a flirt and they enjoy flirting and they like attention from anybody. So it's not so much that they specifically want your attention, it's just they want any kind of attention. And then the third thing I think of is that they're in some type of a competition with another guy. So they're trying to either get the attention of like their friends, or they're trying to show their friends that they're somehow like the alpha of the group.
What does a guy mean when he flirts? I think it depends on the guy and it depends on the situation, which means that you really can't tell. For some guys, in some situations, it might mean, I think you're cool and I want to be friends. And he might not even think what he's doing is flirting, even if everyone around you is thinking, wow, this guy is really hitting on you. He just might think you're really cool. So a lot of times, flirting doesn't have a lot of long-term implications for many guys. It just means, I want your attention now. Now, it might be that a guy flirts with you and thinks, I want more attention, or I want something physical. That is definitely true for some guys. But I would think you can't really deduce too much from flirting other than, this guy wants to pay attention to me? Okay, maybe I pay attention to him, maybe I don't. Kind of see what happens. But I wouldn't read a lot into it.
All right, so as far as what it means when a guy's flirting with you, it could mean anything. It could mean that he likes you. It could mean that, you know, he just likes attention, or he's trying to show off with his friends, right? So you really can't know the meaning just from that interaction. You kind of would need to know the person a bit to know what it means when they flirt, because it could mean different things depending on the guy.
A thing to be very mindful of is when the intentions are not clear, but that person's always flirting or coming off very flirtatious. You have to set yourself up with boundaries to protect your heart. You know, your heart is precious. Also, when things aren't clear, I think you need to make yourself clear. This is the vibe that I'm getting right now. Can you please kind of make this clear, or am I right or am I wrong? Like, you're gonna have to communicate.
I think a lot of guys are really not very self-aware. So when they're flirting, they like what they're feeling. They like the interaction, especially if a girl is flirting back. But that doesn't mean they know where they want this interaction to go. I think guys are flattered when girls flirt back. And so even if they would never like be really interested in that girl, they would still like flirting with her because it's this like emotional high that you get.
I don't necessarily disagree with flirting, but I think there's some dangers that come with flirting. It can be very misleading. I think there's a root issue when people live in a flirtatious way and they're just flirting with everybody. It's just like, what are their intentions? And like, what are some root issues in their lives that make them seek after that kind of attention?
And I do think that when a guy is flirting, even when he knows this relationship isn't going anywhere, but this girl's flirting with me, I'm gonna flirt back, it's definitely a very self-centered attitude. Like, I like how I'm feeling. I like that someone is noticing me. This is great. If a guy's doing that, he's not really worried about the message that he's sending. He's just thinking about him and how he feels.
And ladies, understand that you have a lot of influence over guys. You're beautiful, you're fun, we love hanging out with you guys. So just be aware that your actions have a lot to do with somebody flirting with you at times. Like, if you're always seeking that guy out and trying to talk to him or have long, deep conversations with him or always trying to hang out, making him food and baking him brownies, like, that's going to come off like she's into me.
Thank you so much to these guys for sharing their thoughts, girls. I hope that that was really insightful for you. And I just want to add one thing, like, number one, we as girls also flirt. And I think sometimes we forget how hurtful that can be to somebody if it's just flirting for the sake of getting attention and we have no intention of going further. I think sometimes we forget that like our actions can also be hurtful to the guys around us. So this goes both ways. This conversation goes both ways. And the second thing I want to say is there is a difference between just being friendly and being flirty. If a guy's really friendly, it's easy to read into that. And so I think it's helpful to kind of look at how he treats everybody instead of just you. And so like, is he really friendly with everyone? Like James is like that. And so at first you might think he's flirting with you, but he's just genuinely cares about each person he meets. And if you watch him interact with people, you'll see he acts the same way with everybody he's around. And sometimes that friendliness is a little different toward one person, but that's not always just flirting. That can be like this person he really cares about you, like as a little sister or as a friend or something like that. So not just because a guy wants to talk to you isn't the same thing as flirting with you. I think flirting with you is a little more like obvious. And sometimes people don't even realize that the way they're acting could be taken as flirting. So just keep those things in your mind as well. And I hope that this could help. I love you girls and I can't wait to see you again next week. Bye.